Hi everyone, it's David. In this video, we're going to rank every HubSpot automation from S tier to D tier. We're going to go over them. I'm going to explain what they do, why they're good, why they're bad, and how to implement them. So let's get started. So let's start with lifecycle stage automation. So that means basically that you set up your lifecycle stage and you make sure that all the stages are automated. I would say it's between A and B tier. I'm going to put in A tier. It's extremely important, but it should be done anyway. It's like a basic. The main thing to remember about lifecycle stage automation is to put a few simple rules into place. Everyone tries to automate lifecycle stage, but most people do it wrong. So the first thing is, first of all, you should never skip a lifecycle stage. You should never go backwards on lifecycle stage, and every lifecycle stage should have a timestamp. And also, if you want to get really good at lifecycle stage, especially in the context of like a high ticket, recurring product or service, is to have lifecycle stage, not the one just by default, but the one that go after the sale. So especially if you have upsell or cross-sell, if you want to be able to identify expansion opportunity, you need lifecycle stage from them. So if you take the example of a SaaS, it's good to track once someone signed, so they're a customer, but once someone is onboarded, once someone like expands and buys more and renews, etc., and to have 2 or 3 lifecycle stage after the sale, and to automate it and to block access to it. And yeah, very clean rules for the lifecycle stage. So A tier, everyone has to do it, but you have to do it right. Speed to lead routing is the golden of S tier. It's godlike level. Because it's such an easy such an easy fix. Now, again, something you have to do it right. But even if you don't know how to automate, I heard Alex Samosi said one time that if you hired someone to just do nothing but call every inbound lead within 5 minutes, and all they do, they can do everything all the day and call every inbound leads. So it's not like high tech. It would help your business so much. I think like it depends on the niche, but around 80% of people, they would buy from the first person they contact, especially if you're in an industry that's very inbound based, so where people find you. That's the case a lot in B2C, in some service as well. You want the lead to be contacted extremely quickly. Now, where people go wrong is a lot of companies that do have automation into place, but it just sends a marketing email. So let's say I fill in the form and I just receive a marketing email that clearly look automated. So you want to do a few things, and it really depends on your business. But first of all, you want to limit the size of your form to have more inbound submission. Then you want to enrich, you want to filter spam, etc. And you can create custom agent within HubSpot to do this. Then you want to route the right salesperson. Give them a task to call if it's during the day, and if it's after our submission, you want to automate. And if they take a while to reply, you want to automate. And you can. It's a very good use of AI. You can do. I do it for customer. Very good agents to maximize speed to lead and make it look like a customized message. And it's extremely efficient. And you take like I had a client who went from 9.5% to 40% conversion rate in B2C and property management just by doing this, just by doing a couple of agents and doing it right. So that's S tier, and that's also because it's so quick to get results. If you do it right and implement, it's like instant results, so it's the best. HubSpot Breeze Enrichment. Let's do A tier. So it's again, you want to enrich your record. I just put in A tier and not in S tier because first of all, everyone does it and everyone has access to it. And second of all, there is better than doing just on HubSpot. It's good to start. Again, I'm a big fan of HubSpot. I used to work at HubSpot. I'm a HubSpot partner. HubSpot is good at doing a lot of things, but if you want something as enrichment, that's very important. There's better solution to use, and then bring back the data to HubSpot. But you want to enrich your records for sure, to have signals connected to your CRM, because otherwise, your CRM is just a database of contact and companies and deals, and you don't have live information coming in. Like people change job, the company has raised funds, etc. So you want to connect everything, make sure your email are valid, this and that. So it's very very important to enrich. But what I would use if you have a bit more budget and it's more advanced is to use clear enrichment. I would put in S tier because your coverage will be much higher. So what does Clay does, and Clay does a million things, and I think everyone should implement it at some point. But what it does compared to HubSpot enrichment is like Waterfall is basically like it look at the first source, let's say it doesn't find information, you look at the second source, and you don't need to buy all these data providers. You use credit on Clay, and it will go from source to source until it finds the right coverage. So it will find the right information that you need, and you can create your custom waterfall. Like it's really amazing. And so that's a bit higher than HubSpot because you have access to everything, and then you bring it back to HubSpot. Deal stage task creation. Bit here is very important. It's good, but it's basic, but you need it, obviously. I don't have much to say about this. I guess I would put it, what you want to avoid, right, with automation is automating what shouldn't be automated. And so that's why you want to do task. What is really, really, really bad automation is when you try to automate communication in the middle of the sales process. So anything above the sales process, like at the beginning, is good to automate, to do research, to bring signal, to send messages. Anything at the end, when they sign the contract, it's okay to receive an automated message. But if you're having, again, it depends on your product. If it's like like very low ticket, it's different. But if you have a sales team that are actively selling and have a long sales process, you don't want to automate some like AI message in the middle of the sales process, right? So everything, like once you have a deal and there's sales talking to them, nothing should be automated in terms of communication. In my opinion, they just ruin the experience of the customer. But task, yeah, very important. Lead scoring 80. There's a good and a bad way to do it. What's very important about lead scoring is and let's take mostly the example of B2B, but it's the same thing in B2C, is to separate two types of scores. The sales, so you can use the scoring at different stages, but there's a score that's based on the good fit, right? So are they a good client to your eyes? Like is it the type of client that you want and that fit your ICP? And the other one is the engagement, like are they engaging a lot? Are they opening marketing email, sales email, visiting pages, reconverting on different forms, right? And you want to bring these two forms in some type of matrix. And obviously, if they're high engagement and they're a good fit, you want sales to contact. If they're kind of in between, it depends on your capacity, but more marketing. And if they're bad fit and low engagement, just don't do anything with them. That's how you should do lead scoring. Eternal snack notification. CT, I mean, sometimes it's good. You don't want to overdo it. Kind of like task in general. Like one thing I see in every CRM is like people create a bunch of tasks, which I recommended here, but you want to be very careful with tasks because open your HubSpot right now. I guarantee it's a bunch of tasks that are 2 years old that are not touched, and something with Slack. Like if you if you put too much noise, it's not going to be good. I like to do it for close one, right? To kind of like celebrate and put a positive mood to the sales team. So every time there's a close one, there's a big like beautiful notification inside of Slack to congratulate the salesperson and say, hey, we want a new deal, and put a good mood for the salesperson and for the whole team. I wouldn't do a bunch of it because it can become easily noise. Onboarding, birthday, anniversary emails. This year, it's kind of meh, like maybe in some niche in B2C it's more important, but you're not gonna, if your target is a CEO or sales director, like it's kind of weird to send a birthday email. Like, I mean, it's good, but it's not going to change your business, right? Just checking in mid-deal. So that's what I said earlier. You don't want to automate communication mid-deals, so no. AI SDR. Now, I forgot to put a scam tier, so I will put a scam tier below. Like never ever, like you just put it way below. Every company that's pretending to be AI SDR an absolute scam, and don't even remotely touch anything resembling it. Now, obviously, you can do outbound automation, email campaign, high volume email campaign, signal based, everything you want. But someone that market themselves as an AI SDR that would replace your sales team, just run away. Data cleanup workflow, bit here, very important. I love, so with the HubSpot data hub and everything, the cleanup in my opinion is not enough. You need in most cases, you need a third-party solution. I love Enrichment in that case because you can really create very precise rules. There's many others on that help, and I know Qualify is very popular. I just personally use Enrichment. No-show follow-up between A and B tier. Can I do half in this one? No. B tier, but actually A tier because it's very simple. but it saves the sales team some time, and it really brings back, like, if you can track your rate of no-show before this and after you implement this, you get more meetings, and so actually bring revenue. So technically, in terms of automating complexity to revenue, is one of the highest. So let's put it in 80, and you don't even need a partner or anybody like me to do it. It's very, very easy. Auto assign all lead no scoring DT. I mean, obviously you want to filter, do all, like, the inbound process, like the automation of the initial inbound process should be taken very, very seriously. And people who do that, just like, it's not good. Anonymous visitor engagement, S tier. Now, this is very complex. I do it for customers. If you want to do it, contact me. The idea, basically, and you will need Clay and LB2B and several solutions to do it, but we can, especially only in the US, actually, you can de-anonymize the exact visitor, take the contact, so that's with LB2B, bring it to Clay, enrich it, filter it, see if it's the ICP, get the email, etc. Bring it to a solution like Smart Lead or just HubSpot if you have low volume, send a sequence, and then once it's good, just send it back to HubSpot. And basically, it's the best reply rate you get on call email, because it's people who visit your website but don't fill in the form, and they're very good leads, but they don't necessarily fill it. And when you engage them, just like, whoa. Just keep it very simple. So if they visit your website, first of all, I would be direct. I wouldn't pretend it's just a cold email that's random. You would say, hey, I noticed you're on our website. Is there any question you may have? Let me know, right? Something very casual but good. If you have time, call is better. So call number 1, email number 2, and if not, LinkedIn, depending on your enrichment that you get. Onboarding sequence bit here. Very important, but there's more to do on the sales to. One of the areas that's often lacking is the sales to service transition. There's a lot you can do with AI this day. There's new agent on HubSpot. Definitely work on your onboarding sequence and your onboarding process. What's most important in onboarding sequence is just like, and that's one thing, that's one of the automation when you can save a lot of time and increase the quality of the customer experience, is working on the sales to service transition, and the onboarding sequence is part of it. Generically, that's durability. Again, do I need to explain? It's just generic, it doesn't do much. I think there's a lot of potential in like working on the newsletters, because you tend to have like a different type of form on your website. Environment is newsletter, and sometimes people have a lot of newsletter, and so if you engage them just in obviously a generic way, because you only have the email, and find a way to make them re-engage on a better form, yes, but otherwise it's not that interesting. After follow-up, after demo, D or even F tier. So basically the idea is, as I said before, anything that's in the middle of the process, you don't want to automatically send email. That's the job of the salesperson, and it doesn't need to be automated. It needs to be the salesperson who contact them. You can use AI and automation to bring you signals within the process. So if you have a long process and you receive some notification that they did an event, that there were some funds, send a signal to the salesperson to then send a customized message, but never automate like the message in the middle of the sales process. They're just shooting yourself in the foot. Block subscription buffer, B2A tier, depending on industry. If you have a lot of block subscription, you want to use it. And so it's basically subscriber to like reconvert them into leads. Re-engagement on the stay deal, A tier. Now, again, there's a good and a bad way to do it, but very easily. So let's say you have all your close lost. So first thing you want to do is make the close lost reason a drop down. By default in HubSpot, it's text. You want to make it a drop down, so you can do better reporting on the reasons of close lost. Second thing is to put an optional re-engagement date. So if a deal is just like, they're just kind of slipping there, but they're just like, maybe in 3 months, 4 months, or, it's better to move them in close lost, put a date, and then when the re-engagement come, reopen a deal, then just keep them open in the pipeline, because it's going to mess up the statistics. And then you want to connect signals to it, right? So one automation that's really efficient is taking all the deals that were lost for more than 3 to 6 months, and then connecting with the signals, the one that were like re-engaging with you. So let's say they suddenly revisit your website, reopen your email, and they were lost for more than 3 to 6 months, right? And then you send a notification to the salesperson. Again, I wouldn't automate here unless you have an extremely high volume of deals. because it's the job of the salesperson, and just tell the salesperson to re-engage. And last, form to meeting booking. CTA, because basically the speed to lead routing, like you need the whole process for the inbound. It's just not just like form and meeting and then that's it, right? So yeah, that's it. Again, if you want help with any of this automation, send me a message. I'll put all my links below. And I hope it was you learned something. Talk to you soon.